Is 1 million VET enough to make you a millionaire? Now obviously this question is subjective and the answer will change in agreement or disagreement, and how long it would likely take to materialize based upon who we ask. And it's no secret that I'm a VET investor and that I believe in the long-term prospects of VET, but this video is going to be based upon fact and evidence and less upon personal feeling. So to become a millionaire from a 1 million unit VET holding, the market value would need to reach $1 per unit of course. And with the current market value of VET sitting at around 4.5 cents per unit, we're talking about a cost basis of around $45,000 give or take, which is a lot of money to invest into just one crypto, especially because of the risk involved with investing into a new asset class and a new technology. But having said that, while there is risk and every investor needs to figure out whether they can tolerate that risk in return for the potential reward, the prospects are incredible. And it's not very often, perhaps a few times in a lifetime, where an investor will find themselves on a cusp of a technology which will change the world in a fundamental way. I personally am going to hold my million unit VET holding until the price reaches $1 per unit, and if it doesn't, I'm prepared to lose my initial investment. But for VET to reach $1 per unit, I believe is realistic considering the prospects of this project. If you're enjoying this video so far and you'd like to see more VeChain content, do me a favor and subscribe so that I can spend more time producing content and bringing high quality information to you guys. Anyway, the supply chain analytics industry is truly a massive space, and one which continues to show no sign of slowing down or declining. And it stands to reason for itself that as consumers continue to shop more and more online and less in physical brick and mortar stores, supply chains will continue to grow and there will be more shipping and land transportation and more delivery vans and so on. And a lot of people who live here in the UK or the USA or in Canada or Australia, who I've talked to about VeChain and about this e-commerce point in particular, have shown some concern about e-commerce being an already saturated space. I mean, here in the big cities of the UK, people do most of their shopping online. I mean, there is still room for growth, but by and large, nearly everybody is already using e-commerce, and so it's easy to see why people may think that this industry is already saturated. But outside of the big cities, and especially in less economically or technologically developed countries, e-commerce still only accounts for a minute fraction of the market. In fact, globally in 2019, e-commerce accounted for just 14% of total retail sales, and over time it's expected that this figure will near 100%, although we're talking about decades into the future. Now VeChain are operating in a rapidly growing market and are the market leader in employing blockchain technology to supply chain analytics. And because VeChain are the market leader, it means that they are the natural choice, or at least one of the big players which companies looking to buy supply chain analytics services will consider. And this means that as the industry grows and more people in the industry are using data, there is a lot of room for expansion of many hundreds of times over before we reach a point of saturation. And over the last decade we have seen a phenomenon in the financial markets where the biggest player or the market leader in any industry or niche area, if they can maintain the top spot, grow disproportionately well in comparison to the rest of the competition. Think about it like this. To be the market leader you have to be better or cheaper, or perhaps both better and cheaper than the competition, and so it's only natural that over time, providing that you can maintain this position, you will gain a disproportionately large share of the market. It used to be the case that only a handful of companies, the Coca-Colas and the Walmarts of this world, could seemingly grow indefinitely. And that was because of the lack of communication and technology at the time, which made it really hard but all for a very few companies with impregnable brands to expand to an international size. But because of the widely available and cost-effective communication available today, if your product is good enough, it's much easier to expand and for potential customers to find you because of the internet. VeChain, in my view, being the best project using blockchain in this way, supplying data to companies, will continue to grow and reap a progressively larger share of the supply chain analytics market. A market forecast to grow at a compounded rate of around 20% per year for the next decade, and this is opposed to the 2% average for the whole United States economy. For these reasons and the fact that supply chain analytics isn't the only source of trade for VeChain, I mean there's also the restaurant business as VeChain can measure temperatures and give real-time tracking and traceability, and there's also the agricultural industry as well as others. VeChain will likely be huge in my opinion, and the only thing which they need to focus on is maintaining their position. And just as in any other successful industry, there will be competition working day and night to knock VeChain from the top spot. But it's still VeChain who have the advantage in my view, as they already have an established brand and a few years of experience and innovation on any competition. The potential is definitely there in my view and will likely be realized for VET reaching $1 per unit and making me $1 million. And as I said earlier in the video, there will be risk along the way, but in my view the expected value on a risk and reward basis is a once or maybe twice in a lifetime opportunity. and I for one am willing to risk my $45,000 for what I believe will be a fairly reasonable chance of getting $1 million return or maybe more with the VeChain dividend, and if I decide to continue holding beyond $1 per unit. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe for more. And also remember that I'm not a financial advisor and that this video is not financial advice. Thanks for watching.